Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Tom, again with Tom Talks. Another episode. I'm feeling like a lazy bum. That's why I'm rocking a car hat today. Ugh, down. Yeah, I'm just tired. I'm tired of working. I'm tired of working. I'm just tired of. I'm just tired. Very, very tired. So, I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Mine was okay. Some personal shit happened, but we're not gonna talk. We ain't gonna talk about that. We're gonna go. We're just gonna recap the last week and then make a prediction for next week. It's gonna be a pretty short episode. Um, Bills beat the Lions on the first game on Thanksgiving. That was a really good game. I expected Buffalo to beat Detroit, just beat the shit out of Detroit, but Detroit hung in there. They hung in there. Did a pretty good job, especially they only fucked up on the last drive when they tried to go for the kill like right away and tie the game up. They were down by 3 at that time, and then they gave Josh Allen too much time to drive down the field for the game-winning field goal. So maybe Detroit learns from that. Maybe they come back next week and actually maybe they win 6 straight. We'll see. But Detroit's looking pretty good. Even with that loss, Detroit's looking pretty good. And Buffalo is still looking pretty good too. Cowboys beat the Giants to no one's surprise. Dak did not play a good game, but the running game they had a pretty good running game, and their defense did pretty good. And the Giants just I don't know how their offense scores points without Saquon. If they don't have Saquon Barkley, their offense isn't. There's absolute dog shit because I feel like none of the receivers or tight ends catch anything. Maybe I might have been a little drunk because I don't really remember this game that well, but yeah, it was okay. I mean, they're still a good team. Their defense is still really good. Giants are frauds, and they're showing it now. The Eagles will prove that they're frauds when we face them. We're gonna beat the shit out of them 2 times in a row. Vikings finally won in prime. Well, Kirk Cousins finally won in prime time because we all know the joke that he never wins in prime time. But the Patriots have done something they haven't done in like done more than a decade. They actually gave up a special teams touchdown. Even though I remember specifically one of the players held one of the other players, but still gave it up. It's still his fault. Sorry, shit. Like I said, I was really fucking tired today. Yeah, so he was held, but doesn't matter. Still scored the touchdown. Justin Jefferson does whatever the fuck he wants. Yeah, the other receivers did pretty well too. So Vikings played a really good football game. It was really back and forth. I'm surprised Mac Jones was able to drive him up and down the field the way that he did. Yeah, this game I didn't really watch much of, but I didn't really see the highlights for this game. But just seeing the fact that the Panthers beat the Broncos in 23-10 is really embarrassing for Denver because the Panthers are a pretty bad team. I mean, they have a solid both these teams have a lot in common. They both have good defenses, but their offenses suck this year. And obviously the most disappointing franchise in Denver this year, probably them and the Vegas Raiders, the two most disappointing teams this year. But people are just, and I'm sorry, I'm yawning again. I'm kind of all over the place, but Russell Wilson is getting dogpiled on. I don't like that at all. I get that I get he's not playing great at all this year, but he doesn't deserve to get dogpiled the way that he does. Even though it is pretty crazy to hear that, it still blows my mind that players like Richard Sherman and Marshawn Lynch was like, yeah, we don't talk to him that often only because he goes through his we have to go through his agents in order to talk to him, which is really fucking stupid. And supposedly he had Sierra threw a party for him and only half the team showed up, but I guess, it's still a lot of people. If they're talking about the starting roster, 11 people is still a good amount of fucking people. So, I don't know. The people are just roasting him left and right, and a lot of it is warranted because he's playing bad, but some of it, like his birthday party, is unnecessary. I just feel like it's unnecessary, but whatever. People are going to do what they're going to do on the internet. So, Nathaniel Hackett's going to get fired by the end of the year, and I don't know who the Panthers are going to hire because that's a rebuilding job, so. Bucks lose to the Browns in overtime. I was watching this game was on my local channel. So Deshaun Watson's coming back this week, which is going to be really interesting. We'll talk about more about Deshaun and that whole situation when I make my prediction. But based on this game, like I feel like the Bucs should have dominated the Cleveland Browns, but I don't know. They haven't. God damn it! Like I said, all right, we're just gonna blast it because I keep yawning. I want to recap. I'm just really tired. Yeah, I expected the Bucs to be a lot better, but clearly they weren't. They weren't that day, and Cleveland drove down on the field on the last drive of overtime. Nick Chubb scored a touchdown. Jags pull off the upset against the Ravens. I thought the Ravens were going to win this game. I think they're going to dominate, but my boy Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence is coming on. He's doing really well. And yeah, the Jags are looking pretty good. They're not the best. They're obviously not the best team, but they're a lot better than what they were last year under Urban Meyer. And Trevor Lawrence is looking really good. He's looking really confident as well. Dolphins had the Texans shut up by the end of the first half, so nothing really much to talk about there. Tua dominated. They just gave a little bit near the end of the game, but whatever. Yeah, Dolphins still win. Jets crushed the Bears 31-10 with Mike White in the game, which honestly I didn't think they were going to do. I didn't think they were going to bench Zach Wilson, and I didn't think Mike White was going to be that dominant. And I was wrong in both cases. So it looks like the best thing for the Jets to do is just keep riding with Mike White until Zach Wilson gets his head out of his ass and learns that, oh yeah, I need to be a better teammate. Not only a better quarterback, but a better fucking teammate. So I'm hoping will be a good experience for Zach Wilson. And we'll see what happens with that. Bengals beat the Titans. I thought the Titans were going to win at home, but the Bengals are coming out hot, and good news, it's good that they won this game. It's better for them that the Ravens lost against the Jaguars. So now it's really looking like a Week 18 situation. Whoever wins that Week 18 will win the division. So far, it's what it's looking like. And hold on, we should look at the playoff standings. Let's go. Hold on. NFL.com. Do standings. Do conference. So we'll look at that after we recap this week. Commanders barely beat the Falcons, and Falcons are just. Honestly, I didn't expect them to be that great, but they had chances to win the game. Mariota just turned the ball over at the last possession. So yeah, as I expected, Falcons weren't going to be that good, and Commanders are right now the 7th seed in the playoffs, which is pretty fucking crazy. Chargers' aggressiveness wins them the game because they're losing. They're getting their asses kicked earlier, and then LA came back. My boy Justin Herbert put up numbers, got the 2-point conversion at the end of the game, and Chargers win the game. They're still in the hunt for the playoffs. The Vegas Raiders beat the Seahawks in overtime in a really crazy game. Josh Jacobs with an 86-yard run to end it, which was awesome. Which was an awesome way for them to end the game. Chiefs beat the Rams to no one's surprise. Yeah, there's really not much to say about this game. Niners shut out the Saints, so that's helpful for my Eagles. 13-0. Jimmy G didn't really play that well, but the defense kicked ass, and that's the only right on the Niners only team I'm kind of afraid of in the NFC. And the Eagles beat the Green Bay Packers. Like it shouldn't have been that high. Should not have been 33 points. We should not have allowed them to score 33 points. But when you play Aaron Rodgers, you're not really that surprised. And I was shocked by the way Jordan Love played. Christian Watson scored a long one on us because we played a prevent defense. God damn it! We got 2 picks on him. One was like a really bad throw on him, and it bounced off Slay's helmet. And Scott just caught the ball off the deflection. But the second pick was a really nice interception by Blankenship, because unfortunately Gardner Johnson's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks. I believe it was a lacerated kidney apparently. So I don't know. It doesn't look like he's going to go on the IR, but he's definitely out for at least a couple of weeks. So we're going to need It's unfortunate that the injuries are starting to pile up now, but we're getting Jordan Davis back in time for the Titans game. He's at least on the practice field today. He at least walked through, so that's a really good sign for us. Just hoping that he's 100% healthy. If not 100% healthy, at least healthy enough to be in the game rotating. Because I don't know. I don't think he's going to be starting. Because we have a big line of defensive tackles, which is insane. I can already imagine a five line defensive lineman with all the D tackles that we have. Sue, Joseph, Davis all up in the middle, and then Hargrave and Cox at the end, which is really insane. That'd be an insane line stuffing, like a run stuffer defense. I guess I don't know if that'd be a 4-6 defense or what, but that'd be a great defensive line to fourth and short, especially for Derrick Henry. And I thought the Colts were going to win this year. I thought they were going to carry their momentum, but it seems at the end of the game that Jeff Saturday doesn't know how to use the timeout. So he let up a lot of time off the clock, and that's basically what cost them the game. They could have had a chance to tie the game, but they didn't tie the game. So good on Pittsburgh for beating them. And yeah, so before we go week 13. Before we make our week 13, I'll make my week 13 predictions. Jesus Christ, I can't talk today. Let's look at the standings as of right now. There you go, playoff picture. Let's see if they give us a little bit of a. I feel like I'm off camera, but there we go. Oh, do they not have it right now? All right, come on, load up. There we go. So as of right now, the Chiefs and the Eagles are the number 1 seeds, which is not a surprise to anybody. We're the two best teams in the NFL, most likely going to be in the Super Bowl. I think they have the highest percentage. It's like them, and then for whatever reason, Chiefs and Cowboys are like number 2. I don't remember, but the 2 seeds are the Dolphins and Vikings. We have a couple really good games, really tough games for these teams. So Dolphins are playing the 49ers. The assistant coach faces his former mentor, and the Vikings face the Jets, who are very good, both teams come off of really good wins. So both these games are gonna be really fun to watch and keep our eye on. Titans face the Eagles, which I'm hoping we win. I think we will win, but who knows? Last time we blew the game the last time we played them in 2018, but I don't think the Titans are just I don't think they're not that talented as we are. Ravens and Bucks are the 4 seeds, even though the Bucks lost. Bucks play the Saints. That's gonna be a really interesting game because this year was the only time that Tom Brady has beaten the Saints in the regular season as a Tampa Bay Buck. So I'm interested to see how the Saints respond to this game and how the Bucks respond to their last loss. And the Ravens play the Broncos. That should be an easy win for the Ravens. Bills and Cowboys are the first 5 seeds. Bills play the Patriots. That's gonna be a really good matchup that's a really important matchup for them. They need to win in order to keep pace with the Dolphins. Because if the Bills win, the Dolphins lose, that'll be really helpful for them to get taken over the division. Cowboys play the Colts, which I want the Colts to win, but it's not going to happen. Both these defenses are really good, but Dallas is a much better offense. Bengals and Giants are the 6 seeds. That's not changed, but Giants play the Commanders for the first time. So that's going to be a really fun matchup to see. One of these 2 teams is not going to make the playoffs. Here's a scenario is either one of these 2 teams either aren't going to make the playoffs or they both miss. And right now, my bet would be Washington to be. My bet would be the Giants to be eliminated and Washington makes the playoffs because I just feel like they have a momentum going for them, and for whatever reason, they win with Taylor Heineke in the lineup. So that's what that. And I talk about the Jets and the Vikings. That's gonna be a really good game. I wonder if they're at Minnesota but we'll find out. Patriots and the Chargers are the 2 teams outside looking in. So the Chargers need a lot of help. I feel like the Chargers need to win out in order to even have a chance to get in the playoffs. Seahawks are the team just outside of the bubble. They're on the bubble, but I would say for the NFC, the Panthers down aren't going to make the playoffs. Packers, I believe they still have, mathematically, or somehow they're still in it. But I don't think Atlanta's going to do enough to win. Atlanta's going to fall off by a lot. Detroit might surprise people. But I don't know. I mean, I think there's a good chance that all 4 NFC East teams make the playoffs. But at the same time, it's really hard for that to happen. My guess would be the Giants would be the one team eliminated. Washington, for whatever reason, Washington plays well with Heineke. But the Commanders play well with Heineke in the lineup. But anyway. Now let's go on to predictions. Bills at Patriots. I'm going with the Bills in this game. It'll be the first time these two teams play each other this year. I'm going with the Bills beating the Patriots. Steelers at Falcons. I don't know. I don't trust Atlanta. They haven't done a really good job this year. Steelers. Kenny Pickett's he looks like he's getting better every game. He might be the quarterback of the future. I don't know how. I don't think he's not going to be an all-pro or anything. I don't think, but he's definitely getting better. He's good enough to be a sustainable starter as of right now. And I love George Pickens as a wide receiver. He's a beast. He's a dog. He's gonna be a fucking problem once he gets more targets. So I'm going with the Steelers over the Falcons. Broncos at the Ravens. Ravens are going to win this game. They might make it close. I think the Broncos will make this game a close one, but Russell Wilson and offense has been struggling all year, and they're not going to do anything again. It's really hard to say that Denver's offense is going to show up this game. So Ravens going to win, but it's going to be a close game. Packers at Bears. Somehow the Packers are still in the playoff hunt, and I think the Packers are going to beat the Bears. Because Aaron Rodgers is a co-owner of the Chicago Bears, and he's also co-owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, not much. Even though I don't know what the situation Justin Fields is right now. I think he's still hurt. I don't know if he's going to come back for the rest of the year, or they're just going to say, no, you're done. But it'll be interesting to see what the Bears do with Justin Fields. Really intriguing. The next these two 1 o'clock games are really intriguing. For different reasons. Jags and Lions. Lions looked really good. They've won all November, and they barely lost to a really good team in the Bills. Jags came off an upset win against the Ravens. Both Trevor Lawrence and Jared Goff are playing mistake-free football right now. So I'm really curious to see. It's probably going to come down to the defense, and I think. And right now, Aiden Hutchins is having a hell of a year, so I think Aiden Hutchins is going to be the difference in the game, and I think the Lions are going to, and I'm going to give the Lions a slight edge at home, despite they're going to win by 3. And now this game, Browns at Texans, Deshaun Watson, this is the Deshaun Watson game. He's coming back he's going to play for the first time this year, and there's a really crazy story that 10 of his victims are going to come in the Houston area, are going to show up to the game. Which is really strange to me because this is how I'm thinking. If you're a victim of sexual assault, I don't think you'd want to be anywhere near your predator, the assaulter. But I don't want to say that I don't want to say that leads to people thinking that they're lying about Deshaun Watson, but if you're trying to have the narrative that Deshaun Watson is a serial rapist or a creep or whatever, having the victim show up at the game is not really holding up that narrative. Maybe it's a statement. I don't know. I'm not a victim of sexual assault, and I know people grieve differently, but that's just a whole shit show by itself, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. I'm not saying that the victims are lying. I'm just saying that I just find that really weird that they want to go to a game in the same building as Deshaun Watson. That's all I'm saying. But when it comes to that, but other than Deshaun Watson shit, the Texans are a bad team, and Cleveland's just going to steamroll them like almost every other team has done this year. Vikings at Jets, and these next 3 1 o'clock games are really good as well. The Jets are at the Vikings, so. The Jets defense is really great. Mike White is doing a great job with the offense. I think I'm going to give the Vikings a slight edge at home. It's going to be a really close game. It's going to be a really close game, and it's going to come down to Justin Jefferson versus Sauce Gardner. That's going to be a matchup where everyone's going to keep their eye on. Commanders at Giants. I'm going with the Commanders. Like I said, they for whatever reason, the Commanders play great with Taylor Heineke. I don't say play great, but they play better football with Taylor Heineke as the starting quarterback. The offense, they actually go down the field, and the Commanders have a really good defense. And like I said, I think the Giants are frauds. They're not gonna. I think this is really they started the collapse on Thanksgiving. I think they're just gonna keep on losing from here. Titans at Eagles, the best team in the AFC South versus the Eagles. Jordan Davis is coming back. We lose C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He's out for a couple of weeks. So our defensive backs are kind of frail. Vontae Max isn't coming back to either next week or the week after. So our defensive backfield is a little shaken up, but I believe in our. I really hope that Jonathan Gannon can just set up a game plan to stop Derrick Henry. He needs to study the film of the Titans games when the Broncos and the Bengals played them, because they stopped Derrick Henry in his tracks for the most part. But even with that, I'm still going with the Eagles over the Titans. Seahawks at Rams. I don't think Stafford's playing this game. I heard that has a neck injury, concussion, and he's in concussion protocol. And Allen Robinson's out for the year. Cooper Kupp's out for the year. So Rams are just totally beat up. This is definitely the worst Super Bowl defending champions that I can remember in a long time. So I'm going with the Seahawks over the Rams. Dolphins at 49ers. This game is a coin flip. Both offenses played really well. I think the Dolphins defense plays just well enough, but the Niners defense is one of the best in the league. So for that reason, I'm going with the Niners slightly, and because they're at home. And here's the most intriguing match. And here's a really great matchup. Chiefs at Bengals. Bengals played the Chiefs twice last year. Bengals won both games in that Week 17 matchup and obviously in the AFC Championship game. Jamar Chase is coming back in this game. That's going to be a really big factor for the Bengals. The Chiefs haven't lost since they played the Buffalo Bills. That's a big factor. So I'm right now, and both these teams are hot. And the Bengals defense is, I think the Bengals defense is obviously a lot better than the Kansas City Chiefs, but it's just hard to stop them. It's hard to stop the Chiefs, especially hard to stop Travis Kelce. So this is probably be like this is probably gonna be the regular season game last year where it's a shootout and it comes down to the last second field goal. It's probably gonna be something like 34-31 again. So I'm gonna go with the Bengals over the Chiefs, slightly at home. Chargers at Raiders. Raiders had a great win last week in overtime. Maybe that's the momentum that they needed. Maybe that's the win that they needed to get their shit together in the right direction. The Chargers had a great win last week in overtime and with a 2-point conversion. I think the Chargers kicked the Raiders' ass first week of the season. I mean, and these teams are still kind of similar. So I'm going with the Chargers on the road over the Raiders. And the night game, Colts at Cowboys. I don't want to pick the Cowboys to win, but they have a better offense than the Colts do right now. Their defense, I'd say, are even. The Colts did beat the Chiefs this year, so it's gonna be a lot closer than people think. But I'm going with the Cowboys, unfortunately. And the Monday night game, Saints at Bucks. It was a really close game last time. Bucks only won by 10 points, but I think it's gonna be the same thing again. I think the Bucks are gonna win again by 20-10. So I'm gonna call it a wrap here. I'm sorry. This is a really shitty episode. I'm just really fucking tired. I'm just really tired. I'm in kind of a down mood late in the past few weeks. Like, not few weeks, just like the last week, really. So, happy holidays. Christmas season's upon us, so hopefully more great football will come to us this week. Go Birds. See y'all later.